Wait for it.
It is slippery. I thought it would be like
This is
really bad.
summation of how it is to invest in cryptocurrencies recently.
Really? No, it's
So what's going on? Bitcoin's pulling back. Cryptocurrencies are pulling back. Had a pretty good dip. Not sure what's causing it particularly, no specifics, but I have a couple thoughts, or there's a couple news stories out there poking around, plus some other things that may be contributing. First thing is article I've seen here that kind of sums it up pretty nicely is 14% down. Bitcoin charts bearish amid Asia concerns. Okay. Kind of main point here is that there's a crackdown or further crackdown in South Korea, trading ban, possible talks of it, and further trading and mining crackdowns in China. So Asia concerns, as it kind of describes there. Beyond that, we see the German central bank director is kind of suggesting regulations internationally. So that's just kind of adding to the fire, so to speak. And then we have Putin chiming in with some legislation is going to be needed. So kind of a world front on the cryptocurrency regulation. Even here we see this global, Bitcoin regulation. Is it possible? So it just seems that, again, there's not a particular story going on that I see. A few days ago we had the South Korea news break, and that had a bit of a pullback, sell-off, and recovered, and now the sell-off is kind of continuing. As kind of expected that, maybe a false bounce up, but as the uncertainty continues to kind of develop, we may see more weakness. And maybe even a bigger factor, or not, is Bitconnect has closed down its lending platform. Maybe this has crashed the market. Can't say for sure. But probably it does have some bad effect, given some bad publicity, just kind of a general, black eye on the whole cryptocurrency, atmosphere. And, people that may have kind of come into this new and got involved with this platform got burned. It's just not helping out the reputation, so to speak, of cryptocurrency. I really don't know how much is really adding to the whole thing, but it's probably not good. I'd say the most positive thing about this story is that it's gone, and hopefully we can start to get rid of that kind of stuff and eliminate those platforms from tainting the water, so to speak, in the future, and move forward. So they here are trying to kind of play it in a good way that they, where they are attacked, they got bad press, they're giving back the money to the users, but the reality is the money they're giving back was in the form of their token, which that market crashed before most people could actually get there to cash out their token. So there's a lot of people that are gonna get burned on that one, or have already been burned. So that's probably going to develop a little bit more, and probably linger a little bit longer. So eventually it will pass, and maybe be a benefit for the market getting rid of some of these risky Ponzi-like pyramid schemes. So again, those are kind of the general things I see out there that may be causing this market to have tough footing, so to speak. And then my personal kind of view is that right now everyone seems to be 2018, great year, cryptocurrency, everybody knows about it, the secret's out. And again, contrarian kind of mindset would say that while everyone's heading in this direction, you probably get the opposite reaction. Similar to the, Brexit, everyone was certain of this outcome and got the other, and then the U.S. election recently, where everyone was certain that somebody wouldn't win, and pulled out the surprise. So is that what's going on with cryptocurrencies right now? Is that everyone's expecting a certain outcome, and the other one's kind of taking place instead? It kind of seems to be the case so far in the beginning of the year here. So a little bit of tough footing here, and the beginning of 2018. We'll see where that goes. But I think even more than either of those factors, there are some clues that were pretty clear in the technicals or charts. So let's take a look at that. So here is a Bitcoin chart over, since back in, we'll say back from March of last year, kind of starting to pick that up. And this is a weekly chart. What I kind of want to illustrate here is some of the bigger dips. So I have them labeled here. We had the hard fork dip. This is when Bitcoin was going to be forked for Bitcoin Cash. We have the China dip. That's when China came out with all of its regulations. We have the Bitcoin Cash dip, which is when Bitcoin Cash started to really, make some moves upwards and took over that number 2 spot briefly. And Bitcoin itself kind of reacted really poorly to that. And then we have the Christmas dip. That was that big sell-off right before Christmas, and it did tend to bounce back fairly well. But looking at it here, it's just kind of more of a consolidation area than anything. So what's to kind of see about this is that there is a moving average here that I like to kind of use as reference. It's a 30-period moving average at this weekly scale, and I think it's pretty reliable. It's kind of shown to be pretty reliable. So here on the hard fork, we had a dip down here, and it never got below that moving average, which is a positive and bullish sign. And same thing here in the China dip, and in the Bitcoin Cash dip, it really didn't dip that much, so it showed its strength there. But overall, as long as it's holding above that line, it's a pretty bullish, outlook. So these are some really good opportunities to maybe build a position. And again, I do want to disclaim right now that this is not financial advice. This is just my perspective. This is my observations of what I've seen. So please do your own research, invest upon your own accord. Make sure you're investing in money that you can afford to lose, because nothing here is guaranteed. So with that being said, looking at these past circumstances and what happened, focusing on this recent activity here during Christmas and now today, the big difference between today and Christmas is really not price so much, because the prices pretty much dipped, with Bitcoin particularly. They dipped to about the same level, Christmas dipped down about 10,500. Today we dipped down about 10,000. But what's different is where this moving average is lying. Okay, back in Christmas it was, around 7,600, and as of today we're around 9,500, and we dipped to 10,000. So it got very close to that moving average. And this may be the end of the downward trend. It may fail to hold this level and go down further into a bear market. We could see it finally, break below this average here and start a downtrend. And, we could see prices at 7,500, maybe 4,500. No one knows. I'm not trying to predict anything here. I'm just showing you what I've noticed in the past and what we can maybe use as a bit of a guidance. So we did bounce off this level, maybe missed that steal of a buy, but we may get another opportunity there to take a low risk entry. So keep your eyes on that. Again, it's hard to say what's going to happen. Really can't predict anything. A news story could come out tomorrow and change everything in either direction. So right now it's I think it's in a needed pullback area. Just how these pullbacks actually seem pretty drastic at the time, going from 5,000 down to 3,000. It was a pretty big pullback, and we went from now 20,000 to about 10,000. So it's a pretty big pullback. But relying on this average here, we can maybe keep ourselves in the game and remain unbiased and keep ourselves out of a panic. So with that being said, we could take a quick look at a couple other coins like Litecoin, very similar, another pullback near that average area. Ethereum kind of breaking the mold a little bit, staying well above that average area. So either way, it could be argued that this still has to cool off before it's a buy. I don't think it's necessarily something you want to buy at this level right now. But it is showing strength. So if the market starts to turn into a bullish direction, this may, with the strength that it's exhibiting, it may be a good runner yet. Trying to find a good entry down here near support would be, best. But you may not get those opportunities. So just be aware of that. A couple other coins we could take a quick look at. Ripple, real big performer here as of recently, making highs at 350, again pulling back here and really getting into that zone. Uh, Neo is another very strong coin like Ethereum, not quite getting that opportunity by the average, but showing a lot of strength. IOTA, I like the project. I like its own kind of blockchain Tangle network. And here's the average right here. It's not as well developed because the data is not all there, but we can see it really dip low into that $2 range, and that's kind of that sweet spot. So another coin here, Burst. I kind of stumbled upon this one on just a technical scan. I kind of like what I'm reading here for low value coin that may have some potential. It was trading up high as 13 cents just recently. It's really taking a hit from this recent market action. And again, you got into that kind of sweet spot there. I like that it has its own kind of Tangle network, so it's got elements like IOTA in it, fast transaction speeds, low fees, and it's also a hard drive mining, so it doesn't take up so much of the resources and it's more efficient. At least that's their argument. If you guys have any kind of feedback on this particular project, I'd be glad to hear about it in the comments section. And while I'm at that, while we're discussing that, any of these coins here that you see me talk about that you may want more information on, leave a comment and let me know. Or if there's a coin that you want to get more information on that I haven't mentioned, leave the comments and we'll do our best here to kind of get a dedicated video on that and dig deeper in the coin. So leave your feedback, your positive, negative, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, like, subscribe, share the video. Just interact with us. Let us know what we're doing right or wrong here so we can help you guys better and give you content that you'd be more interested in that may help you with your investment research in the future. A couple of coins real quick and we'll wrap this up. Bay, just an interesting technical setup. It's really hit on that moving average, so maybe a real good contender here. It's almost like I think an eBay for cryptocurrencies. Haven't done too much reading on it. Don't know if it's total trash or not, but pretty interesting as far as a technical setup and maybe a potential platform. Steam is a really popular token, it seems right now, or coin. It's getting kind of really promoted by some other YouTubers, which I think their arguments are pretty good. Of all these other coins that are out there, for the most part, 90% of them probably just don't have a product yet. It's a lot of speculation. So Steam has actually got a working product. You can go on their site now. You can use it. You can monetize yourself. You can do things with it. So it's a real product. It's actually available, and it's not just a theory or some plan to be something in the future. So as far as having value in an actual platform, that's it's pretty strong and significant. And again, you have a nice technical setup here now that it's pulled back. It's been up as high as $9, and we're sitting around 370 right now. In the zone here where you got all this support, and near that moving average, it's a pretty good technical setup, I would argue. So that one's definitely on close watch. Two last coins here I'll kind of breeze over. Tron, very popular there for a while, coming out of nowhere, heading up to sixth rank coin by market cap. Just an incredible run, but it's definitely taken some definite pullbacks here. The promoter or the founder, Justin Soon, he very vocal helping this run up, but also some of his live stream may have caused him to pull back by not really delivering what the market was wanting. Not that there's anything necessarily 100% negative there, just not quite what the market was hoping to get, so to speak. So the other coin that I like to look at is PO, and I stumbled upon PO around the same time as Tron. There, they had similar moves. You can kind of see they really went, from nowhere and up. Now, PO hasn't really had the market cap success kind of in the rankings, so it's kind of still under radar, I would say. But it's had some really nice moves, and not really all the pumping or promoting from their founders. And it seems like they have a pretty good team behind it, a pretty solid team. But overall, I like the platform's goals, and I think that it has a pretty good use case if they can actually get it out and develop it. You also had Kodak come out recently with their Kodak coin, which is very similar to what Poe is wanting to do, by giving a publisher or a content creator the power of their rights and ultimately their payments. So, I think it's powerful. I think it's got a very good need to it with the content creators becoming more and more prolific every day. I can see the need for that. So that's a coin that I kind of do believe in the platform. We may get into a little bit more detail on a future video with them. If you guys would like to see that, let us know. If you got any feedback on them, let us know. So again, we look forward to your feedback and engaging with the channel. Put your comments down below. Tell us what you're liking, what you don't, and we'll hope to see you on the next video.